Hi, I'm Vennum, and I'm an assistant professor of marriage and family therapy at Kansas State University, and I research relationships. So the reason that I decided to start Relevate was that I believe that knowledge is power, and everyone should have equal opportunity to access knowledge that can help them achieve their relationship goals. When I was a young adult, I was stuck in a pattern of unhealthy relationships, and try as I might, I could not figure out how to get out of that pattern. Mainly because I was working within this one single framework, and that was the framework that I had grown up with, that I had learned from my parents, and their parents had learned from their parents, and all the relationships I formed also were with people who believed in that one framework. And that one framework was quite limiting, so I kept trying all these options to have a different outcome, but they were all within the same rules of a belief system of what I felt relationships had to be, were supposed to be, and what my role was supposed to be in them. At some point during college, I got in a relationship that wasn't healthy at all and could not find my way out, and so I sought professional help. And the therapist, although it was quite simple, now looking back, now that I'm a trained therapist, looking back, the things she asked me were so simple, and the statements she made were so simple, but they opened my eyes to understand that this framework wasn't the only framework that I had to choose from, that I could choose from a gazillion different frameworks of what relationships could be, and who I could be in them, and what my role could be, and what it could look like for me to interact with a partner. And that was freeing. It was like suddenly going from having the only option be vanilla ice cream to a whole ice cream buffet, and realizing that I could make a choice, and that choice was power. It gave me power to choose to be different in how I was interacting with other people, to interpret things differently that were happening in my relationships, to ascribe different meaning to them, and to really, now I'm happily married for 12 years. And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that I had access to that knowledge when I did. And it allowed me to go on a completely different life trajectory than I would have otherwise. So for me, what it means to relevate your relationship, which we say relevate equals elevate your relationship, that's what Relevate stands for, is to have the courage to look at yourself, look at the relationships you're in, and make choices that increase your ability to have healthy relationships. And when I say courage, I say that because sometimes making those choices goes against maybe what we are comfortable with, what we're familiar with, what we've grown up with, what we've seen. It might go against a dominant social narrative, what other people are doing. But I wanted to found Relevate so that people could make decisions at least partially informed by what the research says. Because sometimes what society says, or what we've grown up with, isn't necessarily what the research says is the best option. And there may be multiple best options, but for us to know what those are and have the freedom and the courage to act accordingly, and work on ourselves and work on our relationships, and value those relationships, treat them as valuable objects. That's what it means to me to elevate my relationships. Thanks.